You know, I like the Paul brothers as much as I like getting beaten up, which is saying a lot because I don't like getting beaten up. I'm not a masochist. And this goes especially for the older brother Logan. I've had my phase of Logan Paul's quandaries. At first, I thought that he was cringe and no one liked him. That went from whenever he was at Disney until the Japan neck rope forest incident, where his career hit rock bottom.
I just gotta be careful to not disrespect the culture, because Logan, Japan is all about the respect.
At that point, you could just see his entitlement shining, disrespecting everyone all around him, and using someone's unaliving to get his sweet, sweet content. After that, Logan had some sort of a reform. At that point, I started watching his vlogs and started thinking he was cool. Oh, he's just a rich nerd. He loves Pokemon. Also, his vlogs were super entertaining, and I absolutely loved the dynamics between his friends, Mike and George Chenko. And you got Lana Rhodes with Mike! Lana Rhodes! And then they started appearing in the vlogs! And this was the time that Lana Rhodes was really relevant. Just talking about that, it makes me nostalgic. For me, that was Prime Logan. I watched every single vlog, and at that point I started believing that he was truly reformed and a changed man. But you know what they say? Bad habits die hard. When being an absolute insufferable little douchebag is part of your personality, all you can do is suppress it as well as you can. If I remember correctly, it all started with the NFT and crypto scams. Oh no! Logan Paul started being cringy again! The old Logan was just dormant, and he woke up with the NFT craze. Then he started scamming his loyal followers that, like me, thought he was a changed man, and bought into this dumb crypto pump and dumps, like the Dink Doink. And I swear to God, I'm not going crazy, but I remember Logan Paul or his brother creating this NFT that were basically really poorly drawn penises, but I can't find it anywhere online. I swear this happened. Anyway, I can't find the penises NFT anywhere, but if any one of you remembers, please write it down below in the comments. I swear I'm not tweaking. Anyway, it all culminated in the Crypto Zoo game where Logan once again scammed his fans into buying into his shitty project. Then CoffeeZilla exposed him. Then Logan threatened CoffeeZilla with a lawyer card, basically trying to silence him. Then everyone turned on Logan until he apologized and promised to give the money back to his fans. But he did it in the shittiest way possible. Basically, he only offered to refund back around 10% of all of the money that he scammed, with the condition that refunded people would not try to pursue legal action. I give you $100, you give me $10 back, and I can't accuse you of thievery, otherwise your lawyers will legally R-word me. And this was when everyone turned on Logan. To make matters worse, he constantly clowned on his best friend's religion, live 8K to his entire audience. Now that the cat's out of the bag, his douchebag ways are out for everyone to see. I'd argue that his boxing matches were also scams because if you saw those, they were massively overhyped and they were just snooze fests. Watching Logan Paul fighting KSI was more boring than watching paint dry, but that's just my opinion. Sadly, he still has his WWE career where he plays a big role, and sadly he's talented and entertaining at that. You just hate to see bad people succeed. He also has his Prime energy drink. I've tasted it. It's trash. It's not for me. Prime rides mainly on kids' hype because if you're a child and don't have whatever is relevant at that time, you're just shunned by your other child friends. And that's just how kids work. I don't like it, but that's life. So if you're a kid and don't have Prime, you're not a part of the cool kids. It's called peer pressure. And I bet that when most of these kids grow up, they'll reminisce about how terrible Prime was. Remember Prime? Yes, that terrible drink that we all used to have as kids just to flex on each other. Yes, those were the days. Okay, enough Logan Paul slander. For how much of a Logan Paul hater I am and think he's a bad person, his recent controversy is just plain and absurdly dumb. If you're out of the loop, Logan Paul, or more specifically his hydration drink Prime, is on some lukewarm water right now. Someone filed a lawsuit against them because they found traces of PFAs and PFOs in their drink. These compounds are forever chemicals that whenever enter your body don't get out or take a really long time to do so. Your liver can't process them, your kidneys can't expel them, so they end up staying in your body for like really long periods of times. They're basically micro pieces of corn that your body can absorb but also can't expel and cause all sorts of problems like cancer, liver damage, increased chance of obesity, increased cholesterol levels, stuff that only old people care about.
I never thought that Logan Paul and Forever Chemicals would be in the same sentence, but there's actually a class action lawsuit against Prime Energy and Prime Hydration, which are energy drinks and sports drinks that were made by a company called Prime Energy, owned by Logan Paul. And one of the allegations is that Prime Hydration has PFAS and PFOs, Forever Chemicals, in them. So this is an ongoing lawsuit. And our office was actually recently contacted by a young boy who has leukemia after drinking Prime Hydration, and PFOs and PFAs have been linked to specific types of cancers.
And if you didn't know, most of these things you consume are forever chemicals. They're used everywhere nowadays. There's a 100% chance that you have products with PFAs in your house right now. Paint, fast food packaging, water-resistant clothing, non-stick pans, personal care products, pesticides that are in your fruits and vegetables, freaking tap water. They all have trace amounts of PFAs. So you can be living in the woods, isolated from society, hunting animals for meat, and still there's a 100% chance of you having PFAs in your body right now. So this lad made a big oopsie and misrepresented Prime as having PFAs and PFOs and used the empathy card with the boy getting blood cancer aka leukemia after drinking Prime. The problem here is most drinks have trace amounts of PFAs. It's all about how much of these chemicals are in bottles, not about having them or not. Ideally, they shouldn't have them at all. But there's regulation for a maximum amount because it's almost impossible to have done.
Not only is there a lawsuit against Logan Paul's company Prime for there being PFOs, which are forever chemicals, in the Prime hydration drink, but according to the testing done by one of the lawyers for the plaintiff, guess how much PFOs were in the product, in the drink? 3 times the amount that you should have in your lifetime in PFOs from drinking water. In one Prime hydration drink, they found 3 times the amount of PFOs that you should consume in drinking water in your life.
Sweet little lies, tell me sweet little lies. I mean, they're not lies, but he's referring to this table from the EPA, and since there were no regulations back then for PFAs and PFO chemicals on food, there were just advisory levels. Advisory! So it's not completely lying, but Mr. Lawyer over here is pulling a Saul Goodman and he's being a little deceitful. So it's 3 times the recommended concentration level of PFOs in water, and it's only for the grape flavor. The new updated EPA table for PFOs' enforceable limit is 4 parts per trillion, which is a lot more than the 0.06 parts per trillion that Prime has.
Alright, let's talk about this.
No, fuck you, Logan. Let's not talk about this. This clown's only means of defense nowadays is to suppress his detractors by lawyering up since no one but his cronies like him anymore. Oh, I have money! Oh, I have more money than you! La 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 la! I'll just shut you up using money! You get no voice in my channel, because I'm afraid of you striking my channel for using your ugly mug in my videos.
We'll accept an apology within the next 48 hours, otherwise you're going to be representing yourself in a miserable courtroom for lying about our brand.
See what I just said? This guy threatened CoffeeZilla with legal action for exposing him. Now, he's threatening a guy that looks like he hasn't slept in 3 whole days and does TikTok videos. Yes, he lied, but that's the internet. Everyone's making defamatory videos on everyone. You grew up on the internet, and now that you're all powerful and rich, you are pulling the ladder up and preventing everyone from doing the same. And I hate these people so much. The ones that take advantage of a system to get advantage, and then when they're at the top, they prevent everyone from doing the same via suppression. You're lying! Haha, lawyer up! You're telling the truth! Haha, lawyer up as well! There's just no winning. And it makes me even angrier having to defend him, because in this case, he's right. This was just a guy who said it poorly on a subject and made deceitful few videos on it. Everything has PFAs and PFO levels. Tap water in America, at least 45% of it is contaminated with some sort of PFAs. I was going to go on a big tangent right now, listing all of the products with PFAs in different drinks and foods, but there are just so many different articles with different ludicrous numbers that I let you, the audience, do the search. Even bottled water has it, so either way you're not safe. So if you don't drink Prime, don't use that as an excuse for other people to not drink Prime. Just say that Prime tastes like garbage and isn't an actual hydration drink. The taste is subjective. I've had better tasting water than this garbage overhyped drink though. And this YouTube channel called MorePlatesMoreDates made a great video explaining why Prime isn't an actual hydrating beverage and going over the Prime's formula. If you have time to watch the video, go ahead. I hope that Logan doesn't go after him though. Okay, last tangent, I swear. How many athletes do you actually see drinking Prime? I'm not talking about having it in front of you in press conferences and giving their PR speaks on how Prime is a drink for the athletes. I'm asking you, how many athletes do you actually see drinking Prime regularly or on their training camps or other? That's right, none. The only people that you see drinking Prime are children. I know 16-year-olds who have stopped drinking Prime and they say the same. So Logan and his PR team say that this is a drink for athletes and all of that marketing mumbo jumbo, but in real life, seeing with my own two eyes that this earth will one day consume, the only people that I see with Prime are children age 14 max. This is all marketing, snake's oil. Don't believe it.